Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. And Jody got Jamaica. We never want the Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. Out of any party, we are done. We little bit, but we strong. You see a boy, big up Shalian. Black, gold and green in a Caribbean. We love the cocoa with the yard. Let us see how the woman them strong. Our love never change. We big up Shine, we love Boxing Green. And Jody love Jamaica. We are the one for Jamaica. We never left Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. We are the one big up Jamaica. We are the one for Jamaica. We never left Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. We are the undeveloped slow. Marcus Garvey, Pamali too. Edward Siago, Master Pichu. Tourists are flying back a yard for the food. The end is a pilot. Me a better change back the rules. We are head back a yard. Me neighbor fi give me 2 breadfruit. We are the right big up Jamaica. We are the one for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. Hey, we big up Jamaica. We are the one for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. Them there we jump down. The island in the sun. If you want some fun, Jamaica we say come to none. Boy, give me the jelly water. Walk and not live make run down. You make a PS with the drum. We should have killed make the best like from. Some would have been up the era. We are the one for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica. Hey, we big up Jamaica. We are the one for Jamaica. We never let Jamaica. We just love the Jamaica.
Check. Good night, residents of Copperwood. I am very delighted to be here with you this evening and to be sharing the center stage with my political father, one Mr. Michael Stern, erstwhile deputy leader of the Jamaica Labour Party for Era Council 3, and of course, your former Member of Parliament. Give him a hand. This is a relatively new concept to local politics. And certainly, I have not seen another candidate doing this on the campaign trail, where we allow for an open mind and accept questions from the citizens on what our policies are, how it is that we intend to improve the quality of their lives. And I'm very proud that we've had several installations of it without incident, and we want to believe that we can do the same thing here and have a successful conclusion, that you can go off and watch the most honorable Prime Minister defend his record of performance on the debate stage. That's all. I am Warren Newby, your candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party, elections of 2025, Northwestern Clarendon. I must use the opportunity to express my thank yous to my brother Oliver, who is here. Many of you would have become acquainted with him, and the team that is traveling with him to help me organize these communities and make them election ready. You all know Carrion, Meg, you know Darby, all the others, Powell, and everybody who is working and making a contribution to make sure that we are able to win the seat and return the Labour Party to office. I want to welcome those viewing online. I want to welcome each and every one of you as residents of this community. I want to thank you for your patience. Thank you for your considerations. And I want to hear from you as we discuss the matters of concern to you. But before I get into it, I know Mr. Stern will leave us at a point. So I wanted him to greet you and also to extend some apologies to you for the absence of my councillor caretaker, Ms. Camille Marshall, who had to head off to Kingston because of an emergency that has developed. And also to extend welcome to Mr. Blackstock, who is your former caretaker, who is present here, having flown home to assist us in the elections also. So we're very thankful to have these erstwhile and able people present, and we're looking forward to having a very good day on Wednesday. All right, so please hear from Mr. Michael Stern. Make him welcome again.
Copperwood, my history here has been a long one. I started my political journey from these communities. Copperwood and Coffee Peace have been very loyal to the Jamaican Labour Party over the years. But first of all, let me say that I am very happy that someone who grew at my feet when I entered politics as a Jamaican Labour Party candidate here, Warren Newby, is now the candidate for the 2025 general election. And of course, he would have learned a lot from me in his virgin years as a youngster, in his 20s. And I want to really salute the team that is working with him here in Northwest Clarendon. He has been running a very professional campaign. And what he's doing here tonight is a new form of the politics that he intends to carry on. He intends out of these kind of engagement to understand what he's going to be doing when he wins. And therefore, we will be able to help him to execute that plan when he puts his document together as to what he does for Coffee Peace, what he does for Copperwood, what he does for Jericho, what he does for Lesterfield, right? So that's it. That's what we are here for, is to engage you. And let me just say that I lost 2011 election, I lost 2016 election, and yes, I decided not to run again. But I never left my seat. If you go to Frankfield, you can see the development I've done there. I've built a new plaza down there, a building down there. I've done a lot of things. I still continue to engage with the people. I still continue to do some assistance to the people of the communities. So I've never really left, right? My vote is in Frankfield. I've voted in every election. I've assisted every candidate that come in here. And I am able to speak up when I'm not pleased about certain things on your behalf. So I am here tonight because a man after my heart, a young man after my heart is here to serve you. And I am saying that whatever you would do for me if I was member of parliament and I was serving you, because I know a lot of you believe in me, right? I want you to do it for Warren Newby. I want you to trust in him. He's someone that you can trust. He's someone who means well for you. He's a country boy, right? His roots is between Clarendon and St. Anne. I was frightened on Moravia meeting your uncle, who is on the border of Christiana there, came over and introduced himself to me. So, what we want to accomplish in this seat, Warren understands. All the issues, the road issue, the development issue, the empowerment issue, Warren understands all of that. And I've been working keenly with him to make sure that his plan is achieved for you. So all the young people who are looking for educational benefits or job opportunities or any kind of sustenance connection or anything, Warren will be good for you. So, with all due this evening, I hope that we have a good discussion and it will be a fruitful night. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing me. Right? I thank you for the days that you stood with me in here, right, as a member of parliament. And I know that I work very hard in. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your example. You lead with humility. People don't understand how powerful you are, how connected you are, and how generous you are. And many don't know how well you have done.
He says that many wouldn't know how well I have done. I was doing well in Northwest Clarendon where I started business, and many businesses, that very shop over there was my customer, right? And you have several other businesses that used to credit from me. I used to give them the goods to make them being able to feed them family and build their things. So it started from there, Mr. Newby, where I connected with the communities long before the politics. And they continue, and some of them were not on the political side that I was on, and they were very generous to me when I was running. Some of them would stay away from the politics and just back off because they felt they owe me a level of respect. So the people know I was with them before the politics, and I'm genuinely with them even now that you are running. And they know when I say foolishness, I walk away from it. And that will stand for it, okay?
We just want to also pay tribute to the memory of JT Hewitt.
Yeah, man, Mr. Hewitt.
Right? We are right here. And I'm sure were he alive, he would be with us. His widow is cool. And I just want to pay tribute to the family. As you know, that man was a stalwart of the Labour Party and did his part for us to ensure the party is standing in these communities and would often go beyond the call of duty. So big him up in there and big up the family that is still represented. Not true? All right. So today I put out our manifesto as it is, localized. It's called Get Active. And Get Active is a roadmap to how we want the community to be transformed. We had a very good launch of it online, and now through social media the document is being passed around. For those who have smartphones, it's pretty easy. If you're on WhatsApp, it is pretty easy, right? Just send in and we'll send the link of the document to you. And we want you to send it around to everybody, right? Many are afraid of putting out documents like these because they don't want to be held accountable. That's why some people want to put out one page, because they are deathly afraid that if they commit more, it is going to be a noose around their neck. Well, their fear is our empowerment, because we're not afraid. We're committed to doing hard work. We're committed to high standards, and that is why we can make the sort of declarations that we have made in that document, and it is for your perusal online and so on. I want to say it is not everything. There are other ideas we have, but they are untested, so we'll not put them there. And also know that knowledge is not a monopoly. You have the local knowledge, you know what it is that your community needs. I want to tell you that we have listening ears and an open mind. In fact, we are going to be engaged in consultations of the communities right after the elections. Right? So we are going to be going around with the Social Development Commission, the SCC, and we are going to be having meetings in our classrooms to sit with you to discuss community planning, for you to identify what are your issues, the solutions that you believe should be applied, and for us to have very frank discussions. So we're going to do a constituency-wide consultation with the Social Development Commission right after the election. So what we have put out, we know it is the first phase of it. The second phase will come from consultation with you. And then what we are going to do is to incorporate all of the things into a master plan, and then we will publicize the master plan. All right? So I'm going to open the floor to taking questions. Again, we are trying to make sure that we are able to go and see the debates. I don't want to miss it my own self. So, many people don't remember that in 2011 I was one of the debaters. I was there. I was on stage there, right? And I see some of the people who were there with me are back, with the same nonsense. You know, one thing about the comrades, they are unrepentant. You know, even in the face of evidence, they are unrepentant. Right? I want to ask Mr. Stern, will you return to the days of high interest rates? I want to hear from you.
I'm going to go public by telling you that I had many relatives and close associates who lost their business. I had to rescue many of my friends from bankruptcy back in the 90s. I could have owned everybody business in and around Franklin, right? The fact is that everybody got into a hole, because if you borrow 500,000 or $1 million, that would triple, right? And people could not pay the debt. And therefore, the only option was to give up their house, them, and everything they have. So, who would want to go back there? Who would want to go back to the days when when we are paying teachers, we have to wait on the bank to lend us the money first to pay the teacher's salary. We have to wait on the bank to lend us money to pay the nurse. We have to wait on the bank to lend us money to pay the police. Who would want to go back to that? Who really is in their right mind when you don't manage your fiscal thing well? When I hear this thing about giving away back taxes and giving away other things, if you're not be careful, and it means both sides, if you're not be careful, right, we can end up up there. So when the GLP say, yes, this is what I'm able to give back, they are in government and they are doing their assessment. They are listening to the technocrats. They are listening to the experts saying, look, you can't do more than this. Okay, if you do more than that, you're going to go back in a debt problem. So that is why we must ask ourselves, the pie in the sky does not exist. Not because the Jamaica Labour Party government have been able to stabilize the economy, stabilize the dollar, have a large foreign exchange reserve, paid, and the debt is now at 62% GDP. And we now can use the difference between 62 and 137% and finance the hospital, the medical field, we can finance the police, we can finance the education with that extra money. But if you give it back away, or if you just run the place stupidly, then you're right back in the hole you was for the decades that the PLP kept us in that hole. Right? And we can't fix the road. And we can't fix all the things that you want to improve your life. So, don't be conned. Because to me, the PNP is trying to samfire the Jamaican people, basically, samfire them. Because they want to get back in power. And a desperate man will say anything when they want to get in power. Right? So, just know one thing, the Jamaica Labour Party have done it. Every time Jamaica get into a hole, it's the Jamaica Labour Party that pull Jamaica out of the hole. Edward Siaga, right? Come again, Golding, come again, and Johannes. And before that, right? Think about it. When they take over every time, Jamaica go down. Just keep that in mind. When Michael Manley and Patterson took the government for 18 years, they couldn't pay for their bills. They couldn't pay their bills. When they took over again and came to power, they couldn't pay their bills. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, and the audience online, right? Think about the future of your children. Think about the fact that you don't want the children to go through what you go through already. Right? No way. We are in a stability part now and want to remain there. Okay?
Yes, thank you. Okay, questions? Anybody with questions? Quickly.
Any questions on the line?
Quickly, questions. Ready? All the want your things. Right? We love it nice, you know. Once for the ball out, shower. You know? But this is where it is real. This is where it makes a difference. We want to hear what's on your mind. And you need to know what it is that we plan to do. So you have to engage and ask the questions. Yeah. So, let's talk about the agriculture, since you're waiting to hear the questions, right? Let's talk a little bit about agriculture. We have to work together with our farmers to resuscitate the orchard crops. We have to. Because when the trees are producing food items, you don't have to do much to maintain them.
My question is this.
So I might go listen. So you might go listen. Like a record.
My question is now, what I'm saying to you, you are the new MP in this area. And I'd like you to well, me is a man where I see how you respect you and see you honest, find that you respect you in a certain way and whatever. Me want to see you still from the country here, but what I'm saying to you now, my input to you, I'm talking already about certain issues. I'm looking for certain things to done. Use a youth, see how many country that you need to manage. I know you for study check up and I know what is what. You do well to people. You do well to people. I'm listening.
You got to say first thing. One love.
One love.
One love. So, we are saying we want to see back the treat them with the produce food, right? In my view, Andrew, oranges are still being sold. Chocolate is a growing market. Okay? Chocolate consumption across the world grows every year. And we who have one of the best chocolates in the world right here in Copperwood are now out of the market. So something has to be done. We have to figure out what is so wrong and put something in place to fix it. Right? So it's a different sort of engagement. We have to look at the land utilization. You know, one of the things, right, is the expansion of Akis. I've been explaining to people that you go overseas and you take up a tin of the Aki and it says Jamaican Akis. But when you turn around the tin, it's a package in Costa Rica. Right? So we have to be so careful that we don't lose value that is inherent to us. Remember now, Costa Rican people know Itaki, and Jamaican people Itaki. So it is our people who live overseas, they must send the Itaki too. And that is a Jamaican market. The diaspora market belongs to us. And we feed to people them who live America. We get the food to them. We have to can some of it and we have to freeze some of it. What we can wash and cut and pack, we want to do that. The next thing is the type of crops where we grow. Recently, I walking around here from Copperwood going down to Lesterfield. And I woke up on a farmer who says to me that he's going to the store to buy cucumber seeds. And I hadn't even realized that cucumber was doing so well up here. The cool temperature. I didn't even think about it, in fact. But this is a good crop because it holds value, right? The price of cucumber don't fall, and I'm just thinking about it. If you are at production cost of $50 per pound, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. So all of it, right? To aid the farmers. We know, we are positive that the farm road that leads to mountain will be rehabilitated by RADA. A contract has been signed for it, and it is going to be done in 2 phases. The phase 1 of it takes you right to where the breakaway was, and then they have to put in a bridge, and then they will go beyond that to open all of those lands that have been abandoned around there, that people can get back into production, right? And that has been brought about by the advocacy of Mr. Darby, right, who was on TV bawling out for reaccess to the era by the farmers. So give him a round of applause, please. Okay? Still waiting on questions. No question?
What am I? Good evening. Good evening, people. Good evening, Mr. Stan and Mr. Phil. You. Are you talking about agriculture? We have a lot of land facilities here can produce a lot of things. And the agriculture sector here is very poor. And I always say, if I am a Minister of Agriculture, I am one of the best Ministers of Agriculture in the world. The Minister of Agriculture in Jamaica doing nothing. Too much empty land in Jamaica for a Minister of Agriculture. As a Minister of Agriculture, no open land shouldn't be in Jamaica that shouldn't farm. Our St. Elizabeth on a whole produce the most fruits, and factory should be built in St. Elizabeth to make all juice, papa, cucumber, cantaloupe, all the necessary fruits. One build a factory in St. Elizabeth to make juice. All these juice that you see they sell in shop, we should overtake all these juice and build our own juice. We can do that. Scallion, build a factory in St. Elizabeth, grind the scallion, the thyme, the pimento, and we can make our own seasoning. Yes? And I would like to become when Mr. Sir was in Parliament, I asked him, so Mr. Sir, they don't change any marketing manager in the Parliament in agriculture. He says no. You know we are going to get market. We ask to, if we produce with goods, we have to have a marketing manager to go to foreign and say, look man, we have this, we have that, we have that. And we go, all over the globe, you know. But we are not doing it. None of the ministers of Jamaica, you know, from PMP to Labour, none of them. As Minister of Agriculture, none of them not doing the job. When I look at here, Mango spoil endless. Apple spoil endless. When you look at the apple tree, no factory to build, to juice all those things. Banana, spoil, breadfruit can make juice, pear can make juice. I wish to God they give me a job in the minister in the parliament to become their advisor. I would like to be your advisor to the minister of. Yeah, we have been many 2 years as minister of agriculture.
What's your response,
I would
Mr.
say to you, Mr. Yubi, the past member of parliament came here and he does nothing. The people has no trust in him, and I hope you don't find yourself in the same road. You want people here to work. We don't want no gimmicks. We don't want no promise. We're tired of that. And if you know you're not doing over that, come represent the people. So come represent the people if you know you're not doing anything. I'm going to tell you something. 5 year belly full, can't full belly. 1 year belly full, can't full belly. I always tell me about the teacher, we can't lose it. Never can work with the people and spending the time with the people and fixing up what I want to fix up. And look, I told you, I saw you down there, I said, don't give anybody no handout. Don't give no handout. Fix what the people want. Build with the other right here and plan the other right. Build the PMP here and the PMP will come over here. Look at that PMP here, you fix the nurse, once you the other right, everything and people will take over for you. Yes, go on, need no handout. And fix the thing and work with the people work with you. And you stay in a parliament forever. But if you continue to promise the people and promise 5 years, you the people them now, they never say, why you come on, you know, you're gone. No, fix the problem. So I have to know what? I always say, the government don't have enough money to fix the road in Jamaica. So what, look, patch it. Patch with your patch. So you're going to patch with your patch. Come. You're the advisor, sir. You're going to become the advisor.
One of the first things, right? One of the first things, and I've been very careful throughout this campaign, right? Not to respond to this particular thing. But we're closing the campaign now and I must address it. You know, I've worked hard for every day that I've been alive. Because I'm one of those persons where the ethic of hard work, something that I believe in. Right? Since I've been here, it has been tireless. Every day. And I bristle at the comparison to others who have not worked. You know why? Because I sense that if I were of a different hue, if I were of a different birthing, those questions would not arise. I know for a fact that some of the questions that have been put to me were never placed to others when they saw the office. You know why? Because they are not a black boy who was born in Alexandria. Now, Michael knows me. I have built businesses. I employ more than 100 people in this country. So let me get to the agricultural side of it now, since I can get off that personal bit. Governments don't build factories. That's what business people do. Products don't sell because they are made. it is because they meet a particular matrix that the product is good, that it makes a price point, that it meets a price point that the market will accept. And third, that it has a consistent supply. Now, for our farmers to transition, they have to treat their farms as businesses. They have to plan their calendars, and they have to accept good advice about good agricultural practices. Because some of the things that they do causes them not to be able to make money out of agriculture. Then we have to look at the size of the farms and understand that the farmer finds himself into a position because he's small. And that is why we have been pushing as a government, getting our farmers back into organizations called the production and marketing organizations. Because when you buy one bag of fertilizer, you can't negotiate no discount on the bag. But if the farm group have 50 farmers in there, and they are going to buy fertilizer and then buy one bag each, it is 50 bags of fertilizer that the farm group is about to buy. So you are able to say to the seller of fertilizers, we are buying 50 bags of fertilizer. What is the price that you are going to give me that for? It is called economies of scale. And we have to scale up the purchasing power of our farmers that they can get better prices. The same contents for when they are selling goods on the market side. So if you don't sell by yourself on one side, they are able to whittle and negotiate you out of the best price for the products. But if everybody come together and say, we are based on the demand for this product, we are selling it at X price, you get a better value. I like what you say about processing, but I don't want the plants in St. Elizabeth. I want the plants in Northwest Clarendon. And that is why, in my manifesto document, I have declared that I want a special economic zone in the Frankfield area that will allow for agro-processing. So the entirety of that SEZ, Mr. Stewart, is for agro-processing. And you know the landowner. And I have already spoken to them to say, listen, I want between 5 and 10 acres to allow for this. Water is not an issue there. Okay? So all we need to do is to make sure that the water is clean. The land is right there, right? The access to good roads is right there. We'll have to look at what sort of electricity supply that is going over, but you know, it's not, the processing is not high electricity. And we already have a ready labor pool to supply workers to the factory. And the backward linkage to the farmers, we can easily see. So I am here to work on those things. The infrastructure in the state is bad, right? The roads are bad. This is a bad road. Roads are bad. But we have to do them in a systematic way to rehabilitate all of it. What I'm happy about is that we are now in an era where the government, as Mr. Serndo said a while ago, is able to spend more money on the civil infrastructure. Right? This year, $40 billion under a program called SPARK has been voted. In Northwest Clarendon, one of the SPARK roads have started in Orange, right? This road is also slated for rehabilitation. This road is also slated for rehabilitation. So, over the next couple of years, as we continue to enjoy the fruits of the fiscal sacrifice that has been made over the last 10 years, and even beyond that, more of what we want in the communities will be done, including the roads, the water supply system, and your health system.
Question from online. In the manifesto, you mentioned about a pork festival. A lot of farmers are finding it difficult to maintain pig farming. How will you assist?
Well, pig farming is a critical part of the economy in Northwest Clarendon. Quite a lot of piggeries. And that is part of why I think the festival is good, right? Because it is going to create an avenue for them to sell. And it's a culinary festival. So just imagine going to Frankfield because some Chinese are going to be making Cantonese pork over one side. My sister and I don't eat the pork, but no, we don't eat it, but we know people who love it. So the idea is that you're going to go down there and you can get jerk at one place, you could get some Cantonese over another place, you can get sweet and sour at the next place, you can get it curried at the next place, and you have a lot of vendors right around a park, right around the park. You know, some people doing ham, some people doing sausages, and so on. Listen, if we don't claim this idea right now, somebody's going to take it. And I want us to be the venue for which people will come to do that. And Rasta no matter bun me out. I'm just saying, it is part of the economy, part of the gastronomy of Northwest Clarendon. So no matter bun me out, people. And it's going to put money into the pockets of the big farmers. Yeah.
Hold on, Mr. Newey. I started as an MP giving pigs to people, and when they have piglets, we used to tell them to share the piglets, so we'll have persons who receive some of those piglets from those persons. There's a young man in Mount Pleasant now that started that business. It is one of the largest supplier of pig to like hotels and all the places. So in other words, we have live economic situation that we built back then that is now still active, and those young men have become big men and making money out of it. So we have it right here in our office already.
I've got further though to say, some of them are not being kept properly. Okay, so we have to know how to treat with the pig waste. So the pigs, right? Part of what we have to do with the Ministry of Agriculture is to develop these plans to treat with the pig waste, which is of high value to the farmer if it is harvested in the right way. So, the development of the sector in the constituency, and I'm also very concerned about the pollution of the river, because I see a number of piggeries along the river, right? And I'm saying, you can't just flush the pig waste into the river, because when I come out to take a bath in it, I don't want to be contending with all types of waterborne diseases. And the children were playing in it, and people were harvesting the water for use in their domestic matters. So we're going to help our farmers to do the piggery in a sustainable way, and through this particular gastronomic festival, create a market for them.
In this technological era, where the older farmers are not up to date, how can you help to educate them?
Well, I myself, my eldest daughter says to me that I was not born a citizen of the digital age. She says, you are an immigrant. So every time I get a little fussy because things don't work the way that I wish they would, she tells me that I'm an immigrant to the digital era. But all of us can learn. And I go into the homes and I see 80-year-old women, one of whom calls me very regular on WhatsApp. So I know that the transfer of the knowledge can take place. And if they are taught how to use it, they'll be able to apply themselves. And if we use the right language to communicate, then they are going to be better able. Right? So if we take time with them and say, this is how it is done, and if it's not working, don't get frustrated. Go back to the start of it and do it all over again.
Questions are coming in, sir. Next one. Small business owners who are struggling to get a microloan. Is there
Yeah. Okay, so for small businesses, right? You know, the interest rates have come down, but they have not, the access is now the issue. Not so much the rates, although I think the rates are still too high in Jamaica at this point, right? I think I want to see, I personally want to see the rates falling further in Jamaica. Now, the Bank of Jamaica is very conservative, and they have done well to tame inflation using the interest rates lever. But personally, I want to see the rates coming down at a faster pace than they are doing now. And I think Mr. Stern, you would agree that that is one of the retardants to the growth that people are talking about. We're not growing. I mean, really the rates are still figure. But the access to the financing is what most small businesses face. And I think that is where the credit union movement have a distinct advantage. And I want to do a full tour. I want to carry back the credit union into these spaces. I know you developed one many years ago, right? It's falling, right? But we want to carry back the credit union movement into the space. And for people to understand how to apply for loans. We want to do other things. We want to train them in business management. How do you write a business plan? You can't just want the money from the bank, because they can't just eat you so, So we have to work with them. And of course, through the credit union movement, right, which all of them that are certified as AFIs, approved financial institutions, with the Development Bank of Jamaica, that has more than 5 billion. That is 5 with 12 zero. 5 with 12 zero. Available to lend to small businesses in Jamaica. Can you imagine that? Eh? What that is, is $5,000 million. That is what the 5 billion is. $5,000 million available to be lent to small businesses at the Development Bank of Jamaica. We have to figure out how to access that money and put it into production that it can turn over and produce even greater wealth for our people.
Testing. Alright. What are your 3 top priorities for this constituency if you are elected? How will you address unemployment and create opportunities, especially for the youth?
Yeah, so I've described some factory developments already with the SEZ in Frankfield. But there's also, you know, the way, and I'm thankful for the question, the way I see the constituency going forward is to tie the major townships to industry. So in Frankfield, I want to do processing industry. And I think if jobs are down there for processing, you know, it will allow for the housing stock to improve. It will allow for additional retail businesses and service businesses to come. And you know, once people start seeking after additional real commercial space, it is going to lift the commercial value and lift when people start looking for more residential place. You want to be near to where you work. So it is going to cause a rise in the property value. You know, more houses, etc. So I know that if we get these industries going, it will lift them. In Spaldings, we want to put a tech park. And you know, people say call center. I'm not so much about the call center. Although in the tech park you could have that, right? You could have, you know, the micro centers that are processing and doing all of that sort of thing. But what we want is a shared workspace and focus particularly on the knowledge industries, the creative industries. So you're talking about the photography, the music, film, you know, movies, yeah?
Repair.
And repair, and tech repair also in one shared location in Spaldings. And then Spalding, some more jobs. Down in Thompson, we have already been on record that we want to put a boxing plant in Thompson for yams, dasheen, sweet potato, and cocoa, because those are exportable crops, and people, the farmers are right along the belt, right, and want access to markets, and we think that will add greater value to that which they do, and it will provide jobs for people in that general era. Outside of that, outside of building up the townships, then we will continue to look for additional small but scalable social-based enterprises in the communities. I want to say one of the most important and high-value ventures in agriculture right now is really small ruminant farming, to include the goats. And to support that industry that is growing in all of these parts, we need to get into hay production, right? We need to get into hay production because when the weather bad, when the weather is bad, the goat them still need to eat. And a lot of the lands, Mr. Stern, that was involved in sugarcane, which is not as viable as it used to be, right, can be used to plant the grass that is required for the hay production. And you reap the grass, you bale it, and it is sold to the farmers that are raising ruminants, right? Big thing. So, you know, we're looking at the linkages, how this one link into the next one and move it forward, right? You know, we just don't have enough. Look, everybody know we don't have enough boats to supply the demand in today. We don't have it. Right? We don't. And we have to improve and increase the production constantly. Right? Constantly expanding it. Because me myself love one plate of the curry goat, we can't tell you. Love one plate of the curry goat. I take one right now, I don't lie you. Eh? They like mine with banana and, you know, despite what the doctor says, I forget to like barefoot rice. I get to cook barefoot rice with the curry goat, you know. Right, Miss Brady? If barefoot rice, have to sop up the gravy, you know. I like mine with good bananas too. You know? Another question? Yeah.
Sir, there's a lovely lady she's asking about the community in Copperwood. She said it needs a little bit of fixing and she's here to offer her services voluntarily.
Well, you know, it was built by Mr. Stern, right? Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's a problem with it though, that we have to lift the basement of it for it to be passed for electrical services. We have to lift the basement, so it is something that we'll definitely look at. But right now, we are going to put lighting on the field in Copperwood. And if you go down there now, you'll see that the holes are dug. We anticipate that the poles will be delivered shortly. The procurement of the lights not yet done. I've spoken to the gentleman in charge of the football club and I've told him that. But we're pretty close to closing on it. And I am so looking forward to coming here, right, to watch football in the middle of the night, right, when things are completed over there. So I welcome her to come on board. I want to say to you, I want all of these facilities to be managed by the Citizens Association. So nobody believe you're going just say, go and go turn MP and then you go back in your yard and expect me to do all of the work. The Citizens Association must come out and start being active in taking back, right? Get active in your community. Get active. We have bring SDC come because we are going to set them up. And I'm going one step further, Mr. Stern. I want all of the Citizens Association. No, I don't want to make it into a benevolent. I want to make it into a body corporate. To give it the sort of legal protection that it can be dissolved without going back to the parliament for the solution. Yeah. So that's what I want for them.
Next.
What's your name?
Siobhan Duffus.
Hi, Siobhan Duffus.
Did you get to attend our community?
Yeah, we can. Very good question, man. Of course. Look up yourself, Bridget. How old are you?
12, I will be 13.
Bright boy, man. Very bright boy. I'm so thankful for you. Yeah, and you're brave too. Most of us keep their mouth shut. Yes, I want you to have water. The problem in Northwest Clarendon is not sourcing water. The problem is not sourcing water because the rivers run here. You have enough surface sources of water. What you have not done well is to collect it, treat it, and distribute it. And what I'm going to do is to work on a comprehensive plan for the entire constituency. I've also gone out and said that within 7 years, I want 95% of the homes to have potable water. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, it's not so bad, don't you? We can't reason, that's right. We can't reason, don't you? Alright. And beloved, so everybody come out to come from here. One. Alright? The road, we don't have an immediate solution to the road, as I've said. We don't walk around and promise people like that. Say, tomorrow morning the road is going to be done. What we know is that this is one of the roads identified for the Spark program. Right? And it is going to go, we want the road to go from here all the way down to 9 turns. Right? It's a big, expensive project. Right? But you can't, we want to fix from here all the way into 9 turns. Right? And then now on the hill that it joins onto Riches, it requires some work, but it's not, the road is not very bad up there now. The drains are bad.
The drains up there. We have drains up here. There's going to be rehabilitated.
The drains need to be rehabilitated, and then sections of the road need to be rehabilitated. So it's not all of it, but those parts. So we can work on that.
The road up the hill there, Darby will tell you, and many of who live in this community. Ladies and gentlemen, when I won 2007, the only access road to Coffee Peace was from Frankfield. Not one single road you could access. You couldn't access Dykesville, you couldn't access from Union, you couldn't access from up the hill from Darktown. All those roads were closed off. The only road you could get in here from was from Frankfield. When we had to carry material to fix those roads, it had to come from Frankfield and come up here. So in other words, the first road we opened up was a road between Coffee Peace and up to Reaches. And we put in drains. We cut the drains and put in the drains up here. So that road, if we clean out back the drains and we rehabilitate that road, right, it can be a very good road to access here. We know what is happening, right? The roads are not properly maintained in terms of the drains. If the drains are maintained and the water follow that channel, the roads can be upkeep better. You agree with me with that?
Alright, so Wednesday coming. Wednesday is an important day in Jamaica. You can use your boat. You can use your boat to keep this government in power that has done so much for you. Andrew Michael Wallace has solved one of the problems that Jamaica faced for 30 years. One time, everywhere you go, that's how people talk about how much money Jamaica owed. We were one of the most indebted countries in the world. Today, that burden has been lifted from our backs. And I want to say to you, it would be a travesty to allow the people who put us into this battle to be the ones to come and reap the benefit after the problem has been solved. And if they come back in a power, best believe we are going right back into that battle. Let me tell you, I hear them. Right? The man said he want to move the tax threshold to 3.5 million. Now, people don't understand enough. The only way, I'm saying it publicly again, the only way for them to finance that is to increase the GCT. The only way to pay for it is to move that tax burden from PAYE workers and put it on the backs of all of consumers by moving the tax rate from where it is now at 15% to at least 18 to 20%. That is what they are going to pay in GCT if the People's National Party returns to government. Then beyond that, you hear them. One man said, he want to extend the school day by 2 hours every day. No thought about the overexposure that the children will have.
Brother Nancy.
Because you know, the teachers know, that after a certain point in the day, it don't make sense you have no lessons. Because the people them can't concentrate no more. No thought given to the teachers. Because the teachers don't work 8 hours per day. Their work day is 10 to 12 hours. Because they have to get up, prepare the lesson plans, and then when class is finished, they have to mark papers, develop all kinds of strategies to make sure that the children are learning. And the audacity that he has to say they must come and do 2 more hours for free. Now what it would work out to is 10 additional hours per week for teachers. 10 additional, no, is that 10? No, 10, yes, 10 hours. So, a work day in Jamaica is 8 hours. So what you want to do is to add a whole additional work day to the teacher them. So they now move from 40 hours per week. Mr. Stern. 40 hours per week, right, to 50 hours. But, no, yeah, to 50 hours, but 10 hour time after free. Eh? Can't work, man. That cannot work. Rubbish that. Can't work. We know that. That can't work. Okay? Alright, the next one now. The next one now. The next one say, he want to put a tax on imported food items. You can't imagine that?
Satan Campbell.
Chicken back come from foreign. Mosaic. Rice, alright. Flour, alright. Can you imagine flour? You put on 1 tax for flour. Alright. How we are tax? A poor people that's it. A poor people, you want to put that the tax burden upon you. Okay? So, what you are sure about, with them, is that they have no intention to change from them bad ways. It is high taxes, high interest rates that they are going to come to pursue in Jamaica. The other thing, they walk around and they tell you what are the union them say. All of the trade union them. The labor right them down street to no good. When the highest taxes, the highest wage increases that this country has ever seen has been done by Andrew Michael Wallace. From nurse to teacher to police. Okay? But they know when questioned on the debate stage, them ask him, what are you proposing to give to the civil servants if you were to take power? You notice he shy away from it. No answer. Mumbling and grumbling. They don't want to answer those questions because they want this little shimmy away from the real issues that the people face. So you have to listen to them. They don't want to answer no question. How much you plan to give the workers if you come to power? Now, the workers must understand, say, under PNP, a wage freeze workers used to get in this country. No increase. And in the years that they did give increases, a 1% and 2% increase. That is what used to happen. Okay? So, we don't know how they can be credible. We don't know what year they're credible. We don't tell you no lie. Because I don't hear the policy options that they intend to use to lift up Jamaica. Everything that they say is about going back, the old policy. One man was even bold enough to say, the new rural school bus system will be scrapped. It's because they have never had to take a bus as a child in a Jamaica. They never ever have to take a bus as a youth to go to school. When one car was supposed to carry 5 or 15 youth tonight. I go to school. And the government has said, we don't want to see this no more. Right? Why Daryl Vaz is so passionate about it? There was a major accident up in his constituency. We killed some school youth. In a one taxi. Okay? So he's so passionate that he wants to change because we don't want to see our youth them going through the struggle them when we did go through. And hear them. Before them say, okay, I'm going to improve it this way. I'm going to do this to it to make it better. The first thing them tell you is that, guess what? We are going to lock it down if we get to run the country. So, take up on a vote early Wednesday morning and send a message to them with your X beside the bell. And I'm telling you, rest assured, because me have one feeling right inside of the stomach here. Say, they don't realize what is happening in a Jamaican land we love because the people them don't want to see them. They are tell us that nobody you them want to see them for the back of them. Never vote for them come Wednesday morning. Yeah. In this constituency, you have some particular characters who believe that for them job is to drive around in the middle of the night and go round up youth. They offer them dollar to sell out them future. And when them now offer you them dollar, them a walk around with this intimidation about them. I try to them. Me tell them, you see me a go on here? You see me a go on here? Don't run the risk. That is my message to them. Don't run the risk. Okay? A word to the wise is sufficient. Yeah. And some of them know very well, say.
Next member of parliament.
Them can't in a this city. Okay? We don't want any thuggery in Northwest Clarendon. Okay? We don't want no dance boy. No boy when they establish up themselves. Right? Don't go down in this Clarendon. They know themselves. Let them know themselves. Okay. So I don't want you to be intimidated by them in any shape or form. And when you see them come Tuesday night, ball out. Because I know for sure that the police have an interest in a number of them. Ready up now. When's the way I deal with? Early in your numbers. Leave nobody untouched. Leave nobody untouched, Stephen. Go to every yard. Those who are grumbling because they have not gotten a benefit that they have asked for, tell them I apologize on behalf of those who should have done right by them. Tell them that I'm committed to changing the system to make it more equitable. Don't withhold your vote because a personal circumstance might not have been met. Think about the country and choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica. Because what is going on today ought not to be stopped. And use your vote to protect this country for your children. We don't want our youth to go back through the type of thing that FinSAC did here. We don't want our young people to go back to the days when crime was over 1,000. Murders were over 1,000. We want it to continue to decline, that we can wake up one day and we hear on the news that for the last 2 months there has been no murders in Jamaica. We want the young people to be able to go freely to enjoy themselves. Enjoy their youth, party and come home and not be worried about what is going to happen to them. Parents need to be able to relax in their homes and know that their children are safe on the street. And the only Prime Minister to deliver that to you is Andrew Michael Holness. Protect him in the job. So, you know what to do. You know what to do. Miliania, I'm in Alipia. They will walk up and down and tell people, so you come from boy, this, that. Well, me are the only candidate when they run. Where's the man who live in IC? And they are the only Mr. Stern. Because the rest of them don't live there.
No, they live in Manchester.
They live in Manchester. They live there. And they can't move from boy like that. They are telling that. I'll be seeing them. They come out them face. Remember, they can't move from boy. They have to leave the boy here. Yeah. They have to live up. When we say this grade, they have to live up in this grade. So, my very good friends, I love you all. I want to go and see what is happening in the debate. See you soon. Tomorrow we are going to pass through here with a motorcade. And then, in the evening tomorrow, please come down to Frankfield and let us have a nice time down there. Right? Frankfield not normal again. Tomorrow down at Frankfield not normal. No time. So, saddle up for yourself, man, and come. Right? A lot of my friends are going to be here. Everybody is happy and looking forward to it. Let's have a good time down here. Bless up on yourself.